Coming up on Mountain News this morning, state leaders prepare to respond to the dangerous conditions this winter storm can bring, and we share some tips on how you can stay safe and warm.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Almost 5 o'clock here on this very busy Friday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you so much for waking up with us. And let's head right on over to Brandon Robinson for a look at this bitterly cold temps. Brandon, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dakota. It's been a busy overnight. Things have kind of started to calm down in some respects this morning when it comes to the snow falling, but it's still out there in a lot of areas. Let's take you on a tour this morning. We'll start with the satellite radar loop for the last 6 hours, and it really came crashing in there overnight. Temperatures have taken a dive bomb this morning, and still a few flakes out there flying, but the bulk of the snow for now has moved out. We take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar, and you see again a few streaks of snow in the eastern counties. Still maybe some heavier bands out there, but you folks to the west starting to slow down just a little bit. There could be a little bit more today, but right now we are looking a little bit drier. Visibility is rough this morning. You see everybody pretty much below 5 miles. Still have several sensors out this morning, so again, we're trying to get those back online. Snow on Buffalo Mountain here in Perry County, 9 degrees at the Hazard Airport, the Wendell Ford Airport. I'm sure it's a little colder here in those valleys this morning. We go up on top of Whitesburg Pine Mountain. You can see traffic moving very slowly up there, and they don't need to be on the roads at all. Road conditions are very bad across the region. Snow-covered roads there. Jenkins, a little bit better shape there going up US 119, US 23, but still, travel not advised this morning as you head out the door. When you look at the current temperatures, Lexington and Louisville are below zero right now. They're in the negative temperatures out there this morning, and you see a lot of single digits. We're going to continue to drop here for the next couple of hours, getting close to zero before everything is said and done. Of course, the warmest spots in the region this morning are typically our coldest spots. 19 in Clintwood, 16 in Logan, and 14 in Wise. Everybody else is 10 or below. Moorhead's at 1 this morning. Feels like 20 below zero at London right now, 19 below zero with the wind chill at Moorhead, 16 below at Irvin, 14 below at Jackson, Prestonsburg, Ashland, Hazard all feel like 11 below, and Logan feels like 2 below out there this morning. Temperature difference more than 40 degrees colder than it was this time yesterday morning in many areas, and you can see where the front is still passing through there. Again, a little bit warmer than this time yesterday, or not warmer, but a little bit less colder than this time yesterday. There you go. I'll get that here in a second. Current temperature statewide, everybody west of I-75 is basically below zero. That's actual air temperatures. The only exception is Nashville at 3 above right now, and temperatures continue to drop. So the coffee meter, if you absolutely have to be out, make sure you're dressed in layers. Make sure that you're getting all the coffee. Make sure that you don't have any exposed skin, and be extra careful. Please, if you don't have to be out, don't be out. Out the door forecast, we're going to stabilize a little bit later on, but you see we're in the single digits all day, maybe getting back to about 6. But when you factor in that wind chill, it's going to stay between 20 and 30 below all day long. Dakota?
All right, Brennan, thank you so much. Well, we're facing a bone-chilling weekend here in the Commonwealth after the temperatures dropped quickly overnight. As our weather team has said, it's mainly the cold and the wind that's the main issue with this storm, but ice is still a big issue in some areas. Now, for our employees' safety, we don't want them to be outside for long, so we have our Keaton Hall coming to us live from our front porch here in Hazard. Keaton.
Thanks, Dakota. Yeah, the salt trucks, the snow plows are going by right now. And as you said, we were going to go somewhere. We were going to get footage of a busy intersection, or not necessarily busy intersection, but intersection, but it's just too dangerous. There's a thin sheet of ice everywhere. And the snow plows are out, and I'll get out of the way and we can take a zoom in on it. But there's just a thin sheet of ice, and the snow plows are trying to get it, but they just can't. I think I saw the first couple runs this morning. They get the top layer of snow, but underneath that is just about a 1/4 inch of solid ice, and it is not something to mess with. I've got a 4-wheel drive truck, so I was okay, but it's not just the ice on the roads. It's getting so cold that the ice on the cars is just freezing the doors shut. It took me 30 minutes to get any sort of ice off my windshield, and it's not just the ice, it's also how cold it is. It is bitterly cold, as Brandon was saying. Last night it was around 28 degrees at 2 a.m. Right now it's about 5. Real feels much, much lower. And I'm sure we'll be covering that. Brandon will have more all throughout the morning as it just gets colder. Dakota.
All right, Keaton, thank you so very much, and hopefully see you back here at 6:30. Well, state leaders have been preparing to respond to the storm and the brutally cold weather. State emergency management leaders activated their command center, waiting to see what reactive response will be needed. The director of the Kentucky Emergency Management says we could be seeing things that we haven't seen in decades that may occur and that they've not responded to in past winter storms. This is why the Emergency Management Operations Center has been activated.
So we're watching those things like power as well, and as needed, we'll deploy more people in. But currently, we're staffed with those key partners that are keeping the roadways clean, the roadways safe.
Well, the state has been particularly paying attention to conditions for families living in travel trailers here in the mountains, making sure they have resources to be comfortable or be relocated if needed. And with the bitter cold already here, there are some things you need to know for when you are home. Make sure you have some flashlights and fresh batteries for them. It's also a good idea to keep water for drinking and cooking. Officials say to have camping equipment such as sleeping bags, camp stoves, and lanterns, and maintain some non-perishable foods such as canned meats or tuna, and a manual can opener. Keep over-the-counter medication handy and have your cell phone charged. And here are some tips you need to consider if you are traveling to and from your destination today. Officials urge you to not travel unless you absolutely have to. Make sure your car is capable of handling the treacherous conditions. Check the battery, antifreeze, heater defroster, and wipers. And to keep at least 2/3 of fuel in your gas tank and have your headlights on when visibility decreases. And just to show you how dangerous roads are right now, we have a video new this morning from the Whitley County Sheriff's Department. This was taken on I-75 between the Tennessee state line and mile marker 25, where the deputy shown is blocking a lane for a non-injury crash. Deputies say there is a thin layer of ice covering the majority of this road. You can see just how covered the road is and how slick it is because of the ice and the snow that covered our region overnight. And this is exactly why we say that staying home is the best option if you think about traveling during the winter storm. We've already had multiple crashes in our region this morning. And the governor wanted every county to open a warming center. We have a list of those locations over on WYMT.com. You can also find closings on our website and our news app. And you can stay weather aware with the WYMT First Alert weather app. You can scan this QR code to download or search for it in your app store. It gives you the latest weather alerts and radar. And it works with cell phone data if you lose power or Wi-Fi. Well, thank you so much for getting your Friday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up next, states across the country see major issues as the winter storm impacts millions of people.
And those sub-zero wind chills and cold temperatures will linger all day and into the night as well. I'll have the latest in about 3 minutes.
Do you listen to the TV on high volume or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from hearing aids. Don't waste thousands on expensive hearing aids when you can get Nano's revolutionary technology just $347. Don't be fooled by higher-priced hearing aids. The CIC Recharge is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. With rechargeable technology, many customers say is superior to more expensive models. Call now and get not one, but 2 Nano hearing aids for just $347. Plus, we'll add a portable charging dock and ship your order absolutely free. The CIC Recharge has a tiny in-the-ear canal design that is nearly invisible. Why keep missing out on important conversations or waste thousands of dollars? Call and get 2 CIC Recharge hearing aids for only $347 and free shipping. Call now.
800-313-9504. Again, that's 800-313-9504.
Hey, I'm returning your stuff. Your motor oil, your paint, and all your other trash. You dumped it on the ground and it washed down the storm drain and into my water. Don't let it happen again. Or next time, I won't be so nice.
Stop polluting Kentucky's water by keeping trash off the ground. To find out how you can help, visit our website.
Shop Macy's Black Friday specials now while supplies last. Like up to 65% off coats and jackets, up to 50% off boots and shoes, and 50% off makeup, skincare, and fragrances. And get it faster with curbside pickup at Macy's.
Here, have a Triscuit.
Bring on the zest with fire-roasted tomato and olive oil. Bring it with Triscuit.
It's the most natural thing for me to dance, but I was tripping and I was falling and didn't even know what multiple sclerosis was.
When I perform, I really love connecting with people. It's definitely cool to be able to give someone an experience through virtual reality.
Oh my God. I dream sometimes and I see that.
Catch the action with the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, Fridays and Saturdays on WYMT and WYMT.com.
Have a news tip? Then call the WYMT News Tip line.
Good morning, 5:10. We are looking again at some very bitterly cold temperatures out there. Thankfully, the snow on the way out for the moment. Let's go over to pinpoint Doppler radar. For some reason, our live Doppler is not working, so we're trying to use just a kind of a static shot here. I think we might have lost some data on it, but you see a few little flakes still out there flying this morning. But thankfully, most of the heavy snow has moved out. It left its mark, though, as we've seen anywhere between an inch and an inch and a half out there in most areas, but at least everybody got a coating or a dusting and a little bit more than that. So we've always said this was not a snow-based event. This was a cold-based event. That's proving to be true this morning as you head out the door. Now, temperatures, it's a little bit of a different map than you're used to seeing, but Evan put this together last night. It's got the temperatures and the feels-like temperatures on it. So we'll start in the east and work our way west. But something I want to point out to you when we get to the west, Moorhead's at 1 degree right now with a wind chill of 19 below zero. Hazard's at 9 degrees up at the airport with a wind chill of 11 below zero. Prestonsburg at 10 with 11 below zero wind chill. Logan at 16, one of the warmer spots in our region, but 2 degrees below zero is what it feels like. You move further west, the air temperatures are below zero all the way back out toward Madisonville, Bowling Green, out toward Paducah, into parts of Illinois. Again, we are seeing a bitterly cold air across our entire region, 2 degrees above zero at the London Corbin Airport, but you see basically a lot of, or not a lot of snow, but a covered ground out there when it comes to snow. And this snow started out as wet because it came from a rain transition, but the colder it gets, the drier it is. So there's a sheet of ice, like Keaton was saying, underneath every bit of this. Same thing outside the WYMT studios here in Hazard, whereas, as we said earlier, at 9 degrees. And then the Whitesburg camera was working overnight. It must have went back out there, so we'll try to come back to that a little bit later on. Travel forecast not advised this morning. All the way through lunchtime, I think there's a better chance of those road crews, and they're out there working hard right now and trying to get their work done and give you some relief by the afternoon hours. So we're going to keep the yellow light on. It's going to be frigid throughout the day, so they're not going to get any help from the temperatures. I think we stabilize in the upper single digits a little bit later on, right around 6 or 7 if we're lucky, but those wind chills will continue to stay well below zero. That massive Arctic blast continues. Snow chances early, and then we'll see that cold continue all the way through Christmas weekend. And we're just getting started with the cold. It's dangerous. It's life-threatening if you're out too long. Frostbite can set up in as little as 30 minutes if you're out in these wind chills and you have exposed skin. And we're talking about 20 to 30 degree wind chills below zero. And that flash freeze happened. It is underway right now. That's what's causing all this ice that's keeping you from traveling. I have a new update on this one. This winter weather advisory has been extended through this afternoon. It was supposed to expire at 9 o'clock this morning. They also extended the winter storm warning, basically right up to our doorstep there in central Kentucky. But again, winter weather advisory continues. I believe it's through 4 o'clock this afternoon for most counties in our region. Future view, as we head through time today, you see a lot of single digits. Some places may even get below zero there by 7 o'clock. We struggle to get into the upper single digits a little bit later on. We may not make it. Clouds will be around. Some snowflakes could fly here and there. And our wind chills devastatingly low into those teens and 20s, even close to 30 below zero at times. The temperatures by tomorrow morning, not much improvement. We're going to try for 3, but we may not get that warm, so to speak. So again, continue to be careful out there, continue to stay aware, continue to stay warm, because again, if you lose power, and there's a bunch of power outages this morning, hundreds of people without power, I hope you were able to get an alternative source of fuel, because if not, get in your car. Hopefully you have some gas in those and get the heat on, because it is going to be a frigid day. Hopefully you can get somewhere where you can try to find some additional resources there, some heat or something once the roads get cleared up just a little bit. So be careful. As we head into Christmas Day, I do think those temperatures will start to warm up as the skies gradually start to clear, but it's going to take a while, and it may even be late, or not late, but early next week before we can get above freezing again. But here's the main concern. Low air temperatures, feels like temperatures that are 20 degrees or colder, below zero. So again, frostbite, a real concern if you're out long enough. Hypothermia if you're out long enough, even if you do have enough clothes on. You just want to limit your time outside as much as possible. Still a little bit below zero as we head toward tomorrow. Starts to kind of loosen up a little bit as we head into Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. And then as we head into Sunday morning, not as bad. So layers are your friend. Hat, glove. Do not leave any exposed skin if at all possible. Open your cabinet doors. There's a little bit of a difference of opinion about if you should leave your water running in a trickle or not. We'll talk more about that at 5:30. Space heaters, make sure you plug those into the wall. Don't use extension cords. Don't use power strips. You want to make sure that they're plugged in the wall, because they draw a little bit more juice across than other appliances might do it there, especially in the beginning. And never use a stove or oven to heat your home. 7-day forecast for the weekends always in view. The alerts continue through Christmas. Then we might have a few more snow showers on Monday. We're watching that. Models trying to show that. We'll see how it plays out. And then temperatures finally start to warm up. We could be in the 60s by next weekend. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, people across the country are feeling the bitter cold as well. The governor of South Dakota has declared a state of emergency in her state. Her executive order details a dangerous multi-day severe winter storm that's blanketed the state with snow, high winds, and frigid wind chills. Well, the governor says that's led to widespread hazardous travel conditions and road closings, with blizzard conditions interrupting normal life for people living there and emergency responders. The storm has shut down more than 500 miles of interstate. The order activates the state's National Guard. South Dakota is the latest state of at least 12 to declare an emergency due to the extreme winter weather sweeping much of the country. And over in Wisconsin, the governor has declared an energy emergency in his state. Governor Tony Evers signed an executive order that would make it easier to deliver fuel products in the event of power outages. That's a fear as the state has experienced several weather-related outages recently. Frigid temps hitting the area are producing winter weather, making it more difficult to transport the liquid fuels many homes use to keep warm. The order also makes it easier for Wisconsin to bring in out-of-state energy workers if outages happen. Well, still to come this morning, there's an important recall out for a brand of weighted blankets after they were blamed for the deaths of 2 kids.
Best prices to be had on miles of cars from West Virginia to Kentucky. The Thornhill Motor Mile most wonderful sell of the year. Tag your new 2022 with Thornhill and get the most out of your trade. No reasonable offers will be refused. Better act now. The countdown is on. Ends January 3rd.
The WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen, customized to the categories you choose. The WYMT News app, powered by Appalachian Wireless.
In 2019, my dad was diagnosed with colorectal cancer, and I was afraid of losing him. We know other people who were treated at Pikeville Medical Center, and their lives were saved. When Dad was diagnosed, we knew the Lawson Cancer Center was where he needed to be.
We performed a colonoscopy, and the results were positive. Colorectal cancer is aggressive, so we scheduled surgery immediately.
Daddy was referred to Dr. Denali. We couldn't have asked for a more compassionate doctor.
I promised Harold we would do everything we can for him, beginning with an immediate and comprehensive treatment plan. This is our goal for every patient at the Lawson Cancer Center.
It was important to begin radiation and chemotherapy in a timely manner. He responded very well to treatment.
I couldn't imagine not having my father, my kid's pawpaw, in our lives. He's my daddy, and now he is cancer-free.
Shop Macy's Black Friday specials now while supplies last. Like up to 65% off coats and jackets, up to 50% off boots and shoes, and 50% off makeup, skincare, and fragrances. And get it faster with curbside pickup at Macy's.
Here, have a Triscuit.
Bring on the zest with fire-roasted tomato and olive oil. Bring it with Triscuit.
The men and women who served our country make a terrific asset to any business or workplace that hires them. So if you're an employer or business owner, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. It's a great way to thank them for the service. To learn more, call this number or visit saluteheroes.org.
The best prices to be had on miles of cars from West Virginia to Kentucky. The Thornhill Motor Mile Most Wonderful Sell of the Year. Tag your new 2022 with Thornhill and get the most out of your trade. No reasonable offers will be refused. Better act now. The countdown is on. Ends January 3rd.
Welcome back. The time is 5:20. Let's take a look at some financial news this morning. Stocks tumbled Thursday after 2 days of gains. The Dow dropped 348 points. The Nasdaq sunk 233 points. And the S&P 500, 56 points. It went down 56 points, rather. And lawmakers are now questioning some major car companies about their supply chains after a British report found that some car parts were made in an area of China where forced labor is rampant. The Senate Finance Committee sent letters requesting more information from 8 automakers, including Ford, General Motors, and Tesla. GM has already issued a statement saying its policies prohibit involuntary labor, and it actively monitors its supply chain. The U.S. bans most imports from the Chinese region in question. Well, there's an important recall this morning involving children's weighted blankets. Target is recalling 204,000 pillow fort blankets after 2 kids suffocated. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the children died after reportedly becoming trapped inside the cover, which unzips. The blankets were sold in stores and online from December 2018 through September 2022. And Samsung is recalling more than 600,000 top-loading washing machines over concerns they could short-circuit and overheat, posing a fire hazard. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says owners should immediately stop the use of the machines until there is a software update. Well, they're washing machines that were just bought from June 2021 through December 2022. More information on specific recalled models, model numbers, and software updates can be found on Samsung's and the CPSC's website. And companies are apparently not feeling the holiday spirit and are giving less when it comes to holiday bonuses. The outplacement firm Challenger, Gray & Christmas released data from the survey of 252 employers Thursday and found more than 81% of them plan to freeze the value of holiday bonuses to the same level as last year. Nearly 27% said they will not give a bonus at all. That's up from 4% from last year. Experts say companies have become more concerned about a possible economic recession or slowdown. However, the labor market is still incredibly strong, with more jobs available than workers to fill them. Stay with us. Sports is on the way next.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Are you getting all the benefits you need? If you have Medicare, you may now be able to get new benefits. Benefits may include eyeglasses, wellness visits, gym membership, meal delivery, and hearing aids with low copay. You may even find plans with 0 monthly plan premiums, 0 copays on many services, and 0 deductible. To find out which benefits you qualify for and to find out if you're getting the benefits that you deserve, let Best Medcare do the work for you.
Nestled in the mountains of Appalachia, along the Purpose Road, is a hidden gem, Alice Lloyd College. For 100 years, ALC has been providing opportunities.
Opportunity to learn from the best.
Opportunity to work for my education.
Opportunity to serve my community.
Opportunity to become a leader.
Opportunity to find my life's purpose.
Apply now to find your purpose at Alice Lloyd College.
North Fork Valley Community Health Center is involved in the federal program to end the HIV epidemic. The goal is to reduce the number of new HIV infections by at least 90% by 2030. If you think you may be at risk for HIV, we can help provide education, information, testing, and PrEP. Take control of your health and reduce your risk by contacting North Fork Valley Community Health Center to set up an appointment with one of our providers.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season now on furniture and mattresses, like the Radley Shays Sectional, $19.99, and game table sets starting at $5.99. Plus, get up to 50% off select mattress closeouts, now at Macy's. When it shines with your love, it's more than a gift.
I get to see what Santa left for me.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let VCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective VCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month, or no interest, no payments for 18 months. For a limited time, be one of the first 100 callers who schedule a free in-home consultation and receive $500 off. Call 1-800-511-5675, 1-800-511-5675. Factory-trained and certified installers made in the USA, and discounts for seniors and military. VCI Bath & Shower, the leader in affordable bathroom products.
Download Investigate TV for your Roku and Amazon Fire devices.
Coming up on 526, we're checking the satellite radar. Our radar is out this morning, but we still have our loop going on here as we head through the daytime hours. Could be a data service outage there at the National Weather Service office at Jackson. But you see, we had some pretty heavy snow come through in the overnight hours. Starting to fizzle out just a little bit now, but again, the damage is done. We take you down to London along I-75. Looks like the road crews have done their best down there, but still, it is a very cold morning. Their chemicals typically don't work if the temperature is below 20 degrees, unless they add some things to them. So it's going to take them a little while to get situated. Please stay off the roads as much as possible. Look at that actual air temperature, 2 at the London Corbin Airport. It's not much better. Irvin's at 0, Somerset's at 1, Moorhead's at 1, Manchester's at 6, Hazard's at 7. I mean, you've got to get all the way over in Virginia and West Virginia to find teens this morning. 10 in Jonesville, 14 in Clintwood, and 14 in Logan. So it's a cold, cold start. When you factor in those feels-like temperatures, basically 20 to 25 degrees, depending on where you are, below 0 across our region. So the app forecast today, frigid, in a word, can be summed up there. We possibly could see a few snowflakes flying between here and there. I do think we rebound smidge as we head deeper into the day. A balmy 6 degrees for your daytime high this afternoon.
WYMT Mountain Sports, your home for the Kentucky Wildcats and local high school sports.
In boxing, the biggest heavyweight bouts come with some of the biggest hype. And when it comes to all A contenders in basketball, there wasn't a bigger heavyweight fight than the one in Pikeville Thursday. Fans of all ages came out as the Panthers hosted the undefeated Dragons of Harlan. Picking up third quarter, Panthers up, but the Green Dragons battling back. Kyler McClendon drives in for the paint for the bucket and cut it to within 4. Pikeville will turn on the Jets right there, though. Eli Johnson's bucket, no good, but Riley Salmons is there with the board, and he gets the basket and the foul. Later in the quarter, fast break for Heath Gerald. He kicks it out to Salmons. He'll rattle home a tray from the top of the key right there. Not a bad showing from the Tennessee Tech commit. More Panthers in the fourth quarter, and it's guess who? Salmons. Another triple. This time from the right wing. Pikeville up 17 at that point, and this would seal the deal. Salmons going in for the bucket, draws yet another foul, and that would put it out of reach. Salmons, 29 points to lead Pikeville in a 76-63 upset over Harlan. Another team Losing their first game of the season is Pulaski County. Madison Southern beat them in their tournament, 81-71 up in Berea. And interesting score over in Hyden in the Christmas Classic there. Williamsburg beat Buckhorn in a high-scoring game, 89-79. They're turning things around up there. Well, as we said after the game earlier this week, it was a Wednesday night that had all the makings of a ho-hum non-conference matchup for Kentucky. It ended up being anything but. Kentucky needing a boost late to beat Florida A&M. And there were plenty of bright spots in that game, including some good outside shooting and an impressive performance by Cason Wallace. But it became a balancing act, getting the young core more playing time versus trying to win the game.
Well, this one, it got to 10 points. So you can imagine, what if we lost the game? Well, why'd you let them play through and you lose to Florida A&M? We had to play to win the game at the end. And we did good stuff. We posted, we did it, Oscar. That's how we finish a game. Not this team, but that's the first time. We ran clock, posted the ball, fouled, 2 point. They don't have enough time now to catch you.
After the game, he talked to the fans for his radio show and mentioned, hey, be patient, Big Blue Nation. We're still figuring things out. So we'll see how this goes as they go into SEC play. That starts on Wednesday at 7 as they take the trip to Columbia, Missouri. And you can catch that game against Missouri on the SEC Network. And EKU also playing in a matinee on Wednesday. EKU beating UNC Greensboro 68-64. They finish non-conference play above 500 at 7-6. They'll start ASUN play next week. And we wrap up with easily the best news of the day. Love and basketball in Lexington. CJ Frederick and Blair Green now engaged. The Wildcat basketball stars announced through the university's Twitter account that CJ popped the question. Such a neat story. The two of them both injured all season long last year and are playing pivotal roles on their respective teams this year. And on Wednesday, both of them picking up wins and both of them at each other's games. That's sports. We're back after this.
Oh, boy. What? We better get out of here. That clown is about to hit a water line.
He didn't contact 811 to mark the underground utilities.
Nope.
You saw that coming. Too bad he didn't.
Know what's below. 811 before you did.
It's the winning season at the Mint Gaming Hall Cumberland, your premier entertainment destination. Featuring an elevated gaming experience with the newest games and a high limit room, a sophisticated center bar, entertainment, and more. Win up to $2,500 in cash and free play this holiday season, with nightly drawings December 24th through the 31st. Conveniently located at Exit 11 on I-75 North in Williamsburg, Kentucky. Add some jolly with some jackpots at the Mint Gaming Hall Cumberland.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let VCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective VCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. For a limited time, be one of the first 100 callers who schedule a free in-home consultation and receive $500 off. Call 1-800-511-5675, 1-800-511-5675. Factory-trained and certified installers made in the USA and discounts for seniors and military. VCI Bath & Shower, the leader in affordable bathroom products.
Shop Macy's Black Friday specials now while supplies last. Like up to 65% off coats and jackets, up to 50% off boots and shoes, and 50% off makeup, skincare, and fragrances. And get it faster with curbside pickup at Macy's.
Here, have a Triscuit.
Bring on the zest with fire-roasted tomato and olive oil. Bring it with Triscuit.
The WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen, customized to the categories you choose. The WYMT News app, powered by Appalachian Wireless.
Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one city in our region celebrates the official groundbreaking of a brand new senior citizen center. And a partnership in Pikeville brings buses full of joy to families in need to our region.
dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning to you. 5:33 here. It's Friday, and it is a very frigid Friday indeed. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at those temps this morning. Whew, Brandon, I walked outside, maybe 30 minutes or so, maybe an hour before the newscast. No, I mean, the temperature literally just dropping from when I got in at like 2:15 to 4, night and day.
Yep. So I got here about 11 o'clock last night. When I got here, it was still in the mid-40s. I have not been outside since. And I probably won't go outside until it's time to leave.
Just stay inside.
Exactly, because I'm going to be changing into layers.
Yeah.
And I have a scarf to cover my face. So, again, we encourage you to do that if you have to be out this morning. But if you don't, stay at the house. Let's take a look at the satellite radar loop. Our radar is down for the moment. Of course, we're going to keep you posted on it when we get that back. But you see, I still think there's a few flakes flying out there, because look how fast that system kind of just fell apart there, disappeared. That could be the case, but again, I do think we're going to see some more snow today. Visibility is rough out there in a lot of the areas, so continue to be careful this morning. Everybody basically less than 5 miles, with the exception of Hazard, Williamsburg, and Jacksboro. Again, could be a few heavy pockets of snow and fog. Over at Pikeville, US 119, US 23 intersection, a little bit rough over there this morning, so slow down, take it easy. It's good to see there is not much traffic out. That's what we're encouraging. Give those road crews time to work. Their equipment, not necessarily their equipment, their chemicals take a little bit longer to work in conditions like these. And I'm telling you, it's cold, so stay inside. I know there's a bunch of people without power. We've got people, or they got those numbers up on our website, WYMT.com. But we are 0 right now in Irvin, 1 degree Moorhead and Somerset. The further east you go, the warmer it is, but warmer is an objective term this morning. Hazard, Ashland, and Jacksboro all at 7, 8 in Prestonsburg. You've got to go all the way to southwest Virginia and southern West Virginia to find a teen. And even then, it's pretty close to being in the single digits there as well. 10 to 20 below 0 when you factor in those wind chills. And just look at the actual air temperatures up to our north. 22 below 0, Helena, Montana. We're looking at 13 below Bismarck, 9 below Denver, Twin Cities, Kansas City's at 5 below, Chicago's at 8 below. So you can see that Arctic air mass really invaded most of the country. It is 1 degree above 0 in Memphis, Tennessee right now this morning, Dakota. Expected to get a little bit above not above freezing. I wish it was above freezing. Above the 0 degree mark there into the low single digits later on. But it is going to be bone-chilling cold all day long. Dakota.
All right, Brandon, thank you. Well, officials gathered in Pikeville to celebrate the groundbreaking of a new senior citizen center. Our Jordan Mullins has more with county and state officials about the center and how this will impact the community.
On Thursday, state, county, and local officials gathered in downtown Pikeville for a special occasion.
The groundbreaking today, we're making progress on this. It's a great thing for the seniors here in Pikeville. And again, it will help make sure that all of our senior citizen centers can continue to operate.
With this groundbreaking, this marks the beginning of a project that will cost the county no more than $500,000, thanks to funding from the governor's office.
This project is going to be about a little over $2 million, with $1.5 million of that coming from the Beshear administration, and the rest will come from county funds.
Rocky Adkins, the senior advisor to Governor Andy Beshear, adds that providing for the state's and for Pike County seniors is important.
To be able to fill that void for Pike County and the city of Pikeville for our seniors, I think, is utmost importance. And I think it's a good investment in taxpayer money.
Thanking them for a lifetime of duty to their community, Commonwealth, and country.
For the governor to understand and to recognize that we need to honor our seniors and to be able to do it in a way that we've done it today, I think it resembles really who we are as a community and who we are as a Commonwealth.
Working together to ensure seniors are happy and healthy.
That was Jordan Mullins reporting. Pike County Judge Executive Ray Jones says he expects the center to open sometime after June of 2023, but does not have an exact time frame just yet. A partnership in Pikeville brought 2 businesses full of presents to families in need. The Crosswell Christmas Charter made its way to Grace Fellowship Church, offering hundreds of gifts and clothes to families in need. Well, the idea was part of the Crosswell Tours Flood Relief Project, but also provided toys for kids taking part in the Grace Fellowship Community Kitchen.
Absolutely amazing. I grew up fortunate enough to be able to have a Christmas, and this is like what I woke up to on Christmas morning, watching these little kids get toys and clothes and stuff that they need.
Crosswell says the supporters who make this possible are always willing to help, and he hopes to expand the program next year. And the Mountain Santa Run in Harlan County has become more than just a chance for kids to get toys. It has allowed them to feel loved. More than 4 decades have passed since the Santa Run began, and generations tell stories of their favorite day being when Mountain Santa would stop by. Volunteer Doug Elkins says the heartwarming feelings are what makes this so special.
On our run the other day, this little boy, all he wanted was to hug Santa. And just to see something like that, you know, it just makes your heart feel good.
Well, the Mountain Santa Run serves all of Harlan County, focusing on lifting kids' Christmas spirits. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I was diagnosed with stage 4 lung breast cancer in 2015. It's hard to describe how you feel when you're told something like that. I did end up going to Vanderbilt. I went through treatment there around 3 years, and nothing was working. Dr. Noyes at Vanderbilt, he said, I can also fix for you to be at home and take them there to Hazard. I'd never met Dr. Bailey before, and he's just a wonderful doctor. He's very easygoing and listens to you, so we just developed a rapport right off.
We devised a plan to give a treatment that covered multiple different kinds of cancers. And once it started to work, we're all really excited. And then when it didn't show up at all in scans, it was really exciting because we were really expecting hopefully to keep it stable, not for it to move very fast. The results we got were really more than we could have hoped for. It's a success all around.
I think she truly is a miracle. In any illness, no matter what it is, I do think that's important. I feel like the people taking care of you really cares how you're doing. I'm just very, very thankful to be here.
For every holiday, for everyone. Ritz, a taste of welcome.
When the hands that do the fixing need fixing. When the hands that do the caring need caring. That's a job for O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream and guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keeffe's Lip Repair.
In 2019, my dad was diagnosed with colorectal cancer, and I was afraid of losing him. We know other people who were treated at Pikeville Medical Center, and their lives were saved. When Dad was diagnosed, we knew the Lawson Cancer Center was where he needed to be.
We performed a colonoscopy, and the results were positive. Colorectal cancer is aggressive, so we scheduled surgery immediately.
Daddy was referred to Dr. Denali. We couldn't have asked for a more compassionate doctor.
I promised Harold we would do everything we can for him, beginning with an immediate and comprehensive treatment plan. This is our goal for every patient at the Lawson Cancer Center.
It was important to begin radiation and then chemotherapy in a timely manner. He responded very well to treatment.
I couldn't imagine not having my father, my kid's pawpaw, in our lives. He's my daddy, and now he is cancer-free.
Catch the action with the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, Fridays and Saturdays on WYMT and WYMT.com.
No gear, no plan, no problem. MacGyver.
Alrighty, y'all, 542, welcome back. And before we get into weather, you know, we have some tips we want to share.
Yeah, it's weather related.
Yeah, weather related.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, the first one is tips for yourself, you know, dressing. And I learned this lesson this morning because when I went to start my car this morning, of course it was snowing, I wore shorts and a t-shirt and barely had tennis shoes on.
Nope.
And I was like, no, this was not a right decision for me.
Right.
And then when I got into work today, I only brought one jacket because I was thinking, I'm only going to be inside the building today. But the thing is, I have to walk out of the building to my car. And it's going to be cold.
Exactly.
And so, you know, just make sure that you dress in those layers. Brandon said earlier he's going to be dressing in layers later.
That's right.
You brought you a scarf?
I did. Just cover your exposed skin. That means your head, your face, your hands, and your mouth. And here's the thing. If you breathe in that really cold air, it can hurt your lungs, too. So you got to be careful of that. And, of course, frostbite is a big big thing we want to talk about because in wind chills at 25 to 30 below zero, as little as 30 minutes. So you got to be aware of that and watching for those symptoms there as well. All right, let's talk about pets for just a second. Dakota, I hope you brought them in.
Well, Winona's always in.
That's right. But I mean, I know some of the bigger animals you can't bring into the house. I saw a picture on social media this morning where a bunch of cows were standing right outside of a window looking into the house. And I know you can't bring cows in the house, but I mean, there are certain things you can do to make arrangements for them. I was on Facebook Live yesterday. They were talking about heated dog bowls and heated bowls for water that you can do for that. And again, heat lamps, things like that. You can put tarps up around the kind of.
And like a lot of horses and stuff, like they make jackets for them.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
And I mean, horse owners have always, the responsible ones, I guess. I've always seen jackets on them, and those dogs. Bring your dogs inside.
Right. Exactly.
Nobody wants to be out there like that.
And then this one, I didn't think about this until I was doing a little bit of research. Paws. Clean your animals' paws off because if they get into some salt, that eats at them.
Oh yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So there you go. All right. Let's move on to water and heat. Of course, leave those cabinets open to allow heat to get to your pipes so they don't freeze. And this one, Dakota, we've been back and forth on this one, and you were kind of talking about, so Tony Eversole with Hazard the other day said not to leave your water running, but most places will tell you to leave it running and trickle.
I feel like it's a city-by-city thing.
Yeah.
And because you have to remember, a lot of these cities and counties are still recovering, rebuilding their infrastructure, their water lines from the flooding. And even last year, Tony told me, I did a story with him, don't leave your water trickling here in Hazard because it'll drain the tanks.
Exactly. So that's something, it's a county, or it's a case-by-case basis that you need to contact your officials. If you have an alternate heat source, in a case of a power outage, and we've got a bunch of power outages this morning, if it's kerosene, if it's propane, if it's natural gas, make sure it's in a well-ventilated area. I know you don't want to crack a window, but in a situation like this, you might have to. And hopefully you were able to get a carbon monoxide detector, but the symptoms of that, you'll have to watch out for that. If you start to get tired after you've been asleep or you start to feel bad, then you may need to go get checked out.
For sure.
And of course, last but not least, when you're driving, keep gas in your car. I went and filled mine up last night.
I did too. I went yesterday.
So more than half a tank is recommended. Check your battery and your fluids. Keep your phone charged or have a charger in your car to do that, and have those supplies. Neil called it a go bag yesterday.
A go bag, yeah. And I think we ran a story yesterday in the 4 o'clock. A mechanic said, make sure you give your car time to warm up.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't just sit there, start it, and just take off. I mean, that's awful for the car.
Right.
But,
exactly.
Just make sure all your fluids are topped off, all that good stuff. And just stay home. Nobody wants to get out in this anyway, Brandon.
That's exactly right. That's the best advice we can give you. So let's go on over to the satellite and radar loop, and you'll be able to see that most of the snow has moved out, but there is still some out there. It was heavy for a while. Roads are slick. Give the road crews time to get their jobs done this morning, and that hopefully by this afternoon, those roads will be in better shape. Pikeville Medical Center camera as we have a live look across the region. Some snow on the ground, some slick roads out there, not a lot of traffic in Pikeville. That's a great thing this morning. Stay at home as long as you can. If you have to, call your boss and say, hey, roads are rough. I don't think I can make it to work. Hopefully your boss will respect that and put your safety above anybody else. So again, just make sure that you're being as safe as you can and staying off those roads to give the crews time to work this morning. Now, our downtown hazard camera at Triangle Park, this is an interesting situation because it is basically frozen over. That is ice on the camera. You can see the Christmas lights behind it and the lights of downtown, but 7 degrees. We've dropped from 9 earlier in the newscast already down to 1 along Interstate 75 at the London Corbin Airport, but this is the Corbin camera there, and still some snow on those roads. So those crews are working hard. They just haven't had a chance to get to everywhere yet. Hey, how about some mesonet temperatures? We're down to 0 in McKee. The Black Mountain sensor is still out because it is solar powered. 10 is the hot spot this morning over in Whitesburg, but I can tell you from when I updated these numbers earlier, every one of them had dropped at least 4 or 5 degrees, and that was just about 4 o'clock this morning when I updated those. So travel, again, not recommended this morning. Please stay at home if at all possible. If you have to get out, slow, easy. Don't get too close behind the snow plows. Give them areas of space to work there. And of course, stay at home as long as you can today. I think we'll get a little bit better this afternoon. Still going to keep the yellow light on there. Just be aware of that. Wind chill alerts. We talked about winter weather advisories extended through this afternoon for most areas. The wind chill warning is still in effect until about 1 o'clock today, and then that will be replaced with a wind chill advisory that carries us into tomorrow. I suspect expected that would happen, and that's what the National Weather Service office at Jackson decided to do, because you'll still have those wind chills between 10 and 24 below zero, and that's what the criteria for a wind chill advisory is, so I agree with that call. Future view as we go through the daytime hours today, single digits and cloudy skies will be the name of the game. A few flakes could still fly at times as we head deeper into the day into the nighttime hours, but you see, heading into the nighttime, early morning hours tomorrow, things are still staying cold. Single digits, wind chills will be well below zero at times. By tomorrow afternoon, we're going to continue to see, again, those temperatures slowly trying to climb into the teens. It's just going to be one of those situations that you really kind of have to pay attention to. When you factor in those wind chills, it's going to be brutal throughout the day and throughout the night, anywhere between teens and 20 below zero as we head deeper into that forecast, and that's going to continue all the way into Sunday morning before things start to kind of back off just a little bit as the wind chills get just a little bit better there hanging into the afternoon. We might even get to close to 20 there this afternoon. The winds are going to continue to crank, so that's something we really have to watch. 30, 40 mile an hour winds next little bit. 7-day forecast for the weekend's always a view. Christmas cold. Could be one of the coldest Christmases on record. Possibility for some more snow there on Monday before we finally get back above freezing. Talking about single digits this morning, we could be to 60 by the end of next week. We'll be right back.
It's here. It's finally here. The happiest season of all, the Thornhill Motor Mile Most Wonderful Sale of the Year. Celebrate big with all new and used inventory at thornhillautomotive.com. The best savings, best selection to be had. Thornhill is your #1 destination.
Shop Macy's Black Friday specials now while supplies last. Like up to 65% off coats and jackets, up to 50% off boots and shoes, and 50% off makeup, skincare, and fragrances. And get it faster with curbside pickup at Macy's.
Here, have a Triscuit.
Bring on the zest with fire-roasted tomato and olive oil. Bring it with Triscuit.
Health coverage fans, this is the matchup we've all been waiting for, where you find quality, affordable coverage that's right for you and your family through Connect. And it's about the simplest play you can make. Just go to connect.ky.gov and get started. Now more people than ever will qualify and save more by enrolling through Connect. So get off the sidelines and in the game anytime between now and January 15th. Team Kentucky for the win. Connect, together for a better Kentucky.
Nestled in the mountains of Appalachia, along the Purpose Road, is a hidden gem, Alice Lloyd College. For 100 years, ALC has been providing opportunities.
Opportunity to learn from the best.
Opportunity to work for my education.
Opportunity to serve my community.
Opportunity to become a leader.
Opportunity to find my life's purpose.
Apply now to find your purpose at Alice Lloyd College.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath and Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath and Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. For a limited time, be one of the first 100 callers who schedule a free in-home consultation and receive $500 off. Call 1-800-511-5675, 1-800-511-5675. Factory-trained and certified installers made in the USA and discounts for seniors and military. BCI Bath and Shower, the leader in affordable bathroom products.
It's here. It's finally here. The happiest season of all, the Thornhill Motor Mile Most Wonderful Sale of the Year. Celebrate big with all new and used inventory at thornhillautomotive.com. The best savings, best selection to be had. Thornhill is your #1 destination.
You're watching WYMT.
Well, this time of year, we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of buying gifts that we sometimes forget the true meaning of Christmas. Well, this morning we want to take you back to that first Christmas. We usually do this with a group of students, but due to illnesses here at the station and at area schools, we were unable to make it happen this year. So we are replaying one from 2 years ago in 2020, another unusual and tough year here in the mountains. WYMT General Manager Neil Middleton keeps our tradition alive and shares the story of the very first Christmas gift. Merry Christmas, everyone.
More than 30 years ago, we started a tradition here at WYMT of reading the Christmas story to a group of children every year. And of course, well, this year is much different. We couldn't go to a local classroom, but we are continuing that tradition. I hope you'll gather your family together now around the TV as we share the original Christmas story. You know, this time of year, we always hear stories about Christmas and Santa Claus, and every year, I like to share my favorite Christmas story. It's the story about the very first Christmas and a very special child. It's the story about the birth of Jesus Christ, and that's why we celebrate Christmas each and every year. So let's listen to the story of that very first Christmas more than 2,000 years ago. This is Mary, a girl of Galilee. She lived long years ago, but such a wonderful thing happened to her that we remember and love her still today. One day, an angel appeared to Mary. "You are blessed among women," the angel said, "for you shall have a son, whom you shall name Jesus. He shall be called the Son of God, and his kingdom shall never end." "I am glad to serve the Lord," said Mary. "May it be as you have said." Then the angel left her. Mary married a good man from Nazareth. His name was Joseph, and he was a carpenter by trade. When Joseph had to go from Nazareth up to Bethlehem in Judea to pay his taxes in his father's town, Mary went with him. It was a long, weary journey for her. When they reached Bethlehem at last, they found many travelers there before them. The streets were full of cheerful, jostling kinsmen. The inns were crowded to the doors. Though Joseph asked shelter only for his wife, every innkeeper turned them away. At last, one innkeeper, seeing Mary's weariness and need, showed them to a stable full of warm, sweet hay. There, Mary brought forth her son, and she wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in the manger, since there was no room for them in the inn. There were in that same country shepherds in the field, keeping watch over their flocks by night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them in shining glory, and they were all afraid. But the angel said to them, "There is nothing to fear. I come to bring you news of great joy, which shall come to all people. For a child is born this day in Bethlehem, a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign to you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger." Suddenly the sky was full of angels, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men." When the angels disappeared into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let us go to Bethlehem and see this thing which the Lord has made known to us." They hurried to the town and found Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in the manger. Afterwards, the shepherds told everyone they met about the child. Now when Jesus was still a baby, 3 wise men from the east came to Jerusalem. "Where is he that is born King of the Jews?" they asked. "For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him." When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled in his wicked heart. He called the wise men to him and asked them just when the star had appeared. Then he sent them off to Bethlehem, saying, "Go and search for the young child, and when you have found him, bring word back to me that I may come and worship him also." When they had heard the king, the wise men departed. Behold, the star which they had seen in the east went before them, till it stood over the place where the child lay. When they saw the star, the wise men rejoiced and were glad. And when they came into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and bowed down and worshipped him. They opened their treasures and laid before him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. Being warned by God that they should not return to Herod, they departed for their own country by another way. The child was called Jesus, the name given by the angel before he was born. And the child grew and became strong in spirit and full of wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. And that is the story of the very first Christmas and the birth of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. And that's why we celebrate Christmas each and every year. Jesus was God's gift to us. I guess you could say he was the very first Christmas gift. The Bible says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. I know this has been a difficult year for everyone. Many have experienced the loss of a loved one, sickness, and uncertainty about the future. But through it all, we're never alone. Jesus was called Emmanuel, which means God is with us. And He is with us, even through the most difficult of times. He will never leave us. It is my hope and prayer that this holiday season you will celebrate the joy of that very first Christmas. Also, on behalf of everyone here at WYMT, I want to thank you for sharing your time with us and for trusting us each and every day. So from our mountain family to yours, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Travel forecast sponsored by Big Sandy Heating and Cooling, the king of comfort.
Hello everyone, I'm Bridget Turner with WYMT. Thank you for watching another segment of Our Mountain Family. I'm up in Lexington today, and I'm with Tom Allshaver, president of the appropriately named and Lexington's best kept secret, My Favorite Things. Tom, thank you for being our guest today.
Absolutely, thank you for being here today.
So the holidays are behind us, and now we're gearing up for the big after Christmas sale here at My Favorite Things. Tell people what they can expect to find.
Sure. So, well, Christmas is over. We have a few things left, and we would like to sell them and let you all have the bargains and shop today for future Christmas and whatever else needs you might have. I mean, everything in the store is for sale. Home accessories, any of our gifts, our food items, baby things, ladies things, men's things. Yeah, and the holiday decor especially is a good time to stock up for next year.
Absolutely. I plan on picking some things myself.
Oh, awesome.
So this is definitely the premier place to shop for anything gift related, and especially if Santa didn't bring you exactly what you were looking for this year. You still have a great selection of unique gift items for men and ladies.
Absolutely. We hate for Santa to disappoint, but he can't get to everybody and everything. So what he couldn't get to, we have here for you. So come and see what we still have to fill your needs.
Still a great selection here at the store. Tell us a little bit about your interior design service.
Sure. So after Christmas, January, February is a great time to kind of refresh the home. January, February are kind of dark and dreary, and it's fun to get some new things, accessories, lamps, anything furniture-wise. You can buy anything that we have in the store off the floor. We can special order whatever your needs might be, colors. We're here to help you with that. Absolutely. So come and see what we have.
Tom, thank you for being our guest today.
I appreciate it.
And thank you for watching this segment of Our Mountain Family.
I gave thanks with tickets to a concert.
Looking for a unique way to show your gratitude for our nation's veterans and service members? One that will immediately and directly impact their lives? Give your extra tickets to VetTix. How will you give thanks? VetTix. Give something to those who gave. For more information on how you can make a difference, go to vettix.org.
Friday, Tom Selleck stars in a new Blue Bloods on CBS.
Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we ask you to think twice before you head out the door this morning as we see dangerous road conditions across our region.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning to you. 6:01 here on this Friday morning. At least it's Friday, so that's a positive. But what's not so positive are those cold temperatures that's already here. And if you looked outside, got close to your window, or even opened your front door, yeah, you know it's cold. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at those cold temperatures. And boy, Brandon, they just keep on dropping.
Exactly. And I was watching a video, Dakota, talking about how bad it is in some other places. There was a home that had a headboard on their bed in Minnesota. I believe it was Minnesota or Montana or somewhere up there that had ice inside the house behind the headboard.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's how cold it's been up there. And that air has drifted down this way, an Arctic blast. So, again, we're still dealing with the effects of that this morning. We take a look at the last few hours on the satellite and radar. Our radar actually kind of giving us some issues right now, but you'll see we're looking okay out there this morning. Not too much going on right now. A few flakes could still be flying, and the clouds are still there. Now, that's looking like they're trying to clear, but I don't think that's the case. All right. We have made the descent into below zero territory. Actual air temperatures in Irvine and Somerset are below zero right now. 0 in Moorhead, 1 in London and Williamsburg, 4 in Jackson, 5 in Hazard. I think we all get closer to 0 here in the next hour or so. So again, it is frigid cold out there this morning as we head deeper into that forecast. When you factor in those wind chills, feels like 20 to 30 degrees below zero out toward Lake Cumberland, teens and close to 20 below zero here across most of the rest of the region. So again, Clintwood is the only one that's still above zero there when it comes to wind chill over that way. And look at the temperature difference from 24 hours ago. 42 degrees colder than it was this time yesterday in London, 45 degrees colder in Somerset. So what a difference one cold front can make. And this is a situation where you want to stay inside and you want to drink some hot coffee or a hot beverage, hot cocoa. Be a great day for that too. So again, just make sure that you're staying in as long as you can. If you have to be out, slow and steady is the name of the race. Now we're going to see some chances for some snow off and on throughout the day, but again, I don't think it's going to be a major issue for us, and we'll continue to see. Actually, I must not have updated that graphic, but anyway, it's not going to be 45 today, 49. That's an old graphic there that I must have forgot to update. Dakota.
All right, Brennan, thank you. Well, state leaders have been preparing to respond to the storm and the brutally cold weather. State emergency management leaders activated their command center, waiting to see what reactive response will be needed. The director of the Kentucky Emergency Management says we could be seeing things that we haven't seen in decades that may occur that may not have ever responded to in past winter storms. This is why the Emergency Management Operations Center has been activated.
So we're watching those things like power as well, and as needed, we'll deploy more people in. But currently, we're staffed with those key partners that are keeping the roadways clean, the roadways safe.
The state has been particularly paying attention on conditions for families living in travel trailers here in the mountains, making sure they have resources to be comfortable or be relocated if needed. A section of a Kentucky interstate in southern Kentucky has been the scene of numerous crashes, especially during winter weather events. Rockcastle County's section of I-75 is often closed during snowstorms to allow crews to clear multiple crashes. As our Phil Pendleton tells us, frequent interstate shutdowns has many drivers looking for places to stay until the road clears.
Christopher Longhurst has managed the Mount Vernon Quality Inn for 4 years. Each winter, it's often the same story.
Just last year, we had an accident just right below me, behind my left here. Just a few minutes later, where people were going too fast, they had another wreck right behind them.
It happens as several plow trucks are specifically assigned to the interstate alone.
Of course, they're well aware of, what goes on there and what could potentially happen there. We will have them staged out there before the weather even hits.
Last year, one family needed a place to stay for a week after their car flipped during a crash.
Luckily, none of them were actually injured in the vehicle. And the woman doesn't remember getting out of her vehicle. Her husband told her that she came out through the skylight once they stopped turning.
Somebody else who told me they used to work at another hotel said that during a recent situation when they had to shut the interstate down overnight, people were coming into that hotel begging to sleep on the floor when they found out that all the rooms were booked. Many have asked why so many crashes keep happening despite a widening and other improvements a few years ago.
Just people going too fast in the hills, and they're not leaving enough space in front of them so that if anything happens, they're able to react.
It's mainly, people need to slow down. That's the biggest thing that we really harp on people is, reduce your speed.
Hale says it's common for the interstate to be clear in one area and then quickly turn treacherous a few miles down the road. In Rockcastle County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, there have already been multiple crashes on I-75 this morning, including ones with confirmed injuries. And while you may be dreaming of a white Christmas, those driving for the holidays or even work, well, they might be dreading it. Kentucky State Police Trooper Daniel Pretty stresses that if you have to drive somewhere in the cold or snow, to be prepared by having an emergency kit in your car with blankets, extra clothes, and a cell phone charger. Another tip, just pay attention while driving.
try not to become overconfident is a big thing. You don't want to be overconfident in your skills. There are a lot of times that people get out and don't think it's as slick as it is, and ends up being maybe ice under snow, and they end up getting in trouble that way.
He says to pack extra food and water in the event you become stranded. And just to show you how dangerous roads are right now, we have a video from the Whitley County Sheriff's Department. Well, this was taken on I-75 between the Tennessee state line and mile marker 25. While a deputy is blocking a lane for a non-injury crash, deputies say there is a thin layer of ice covering the majority of this road. You can see how covered the road is and how slick it is because of the ice and the snow that has covered our region overnight. Well, this is exactly why we say that staying home is the best option if you think about traveling during this winter storm. And with the bitter cold already here, there are some things you need to know for when you're home. Make sure you have some flashlights and fresh batteries for them. It's also a good idea to keep water for drinking and cooking. Officials say to have camping equipment such as sleeping bags, camp stoves, and lanterns. Maintain some non-perishable foods such as canned meats or tuna, and a manual can opener. Keep over-the-counter medication handy and have your cell phone charged. Governor Andy Beshear wanted every county to open a warming center. We have a list of those locations on our website. You can also find closings on the WYMT News app. And you can stay weather aware with the WYMT First Alert weather app. You can scan this QR code on your screen to download or search for it in your app store. It gives you the latest weather alerts and radar, and it works with cell data if you lose power or Wi-Fi. Well, during winter storms like this, it's important to take care of the pets that you can't take inside of your house. Michael Blowen of Old Friends Thoroughbred Retirement in Scott County says his ex-racehorses knew the cold was coming as well, and they were maybe more prepared for what's to come than us humans. Jeremy Toms and photojournalist Darnell Crenshaw visited the Scott County farm to see how the humans and animals prepared.
This is 1997 Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner, Silver Charm.
Look at you. 28 years old, about to be 29 in a few days. Huh?
So he's wearing a coat because
he's older. And as I say, like everything else, he can't run like he used to.
Michael Blowen is the president and founder of Old Friends Thoroughbred Retirement. He and a staff of 8 are responsible for 146 thoroughbreds on the Scott County farm. They're keeping a close eye on the extreme weather heading our way.
Well, we're concerned, of course, like everybody else should be, about anything this extreme in terms of the weather. But these horses are very, very smart.
Most horses around this time of year have their thick winter coat. They're prey animals, so their instinct is to run. So Blowen believes they'd rather be outside, even during extreme conditions.
Yeah, running keeps them warm, it keeps them alert, it keeps them in shape.
And the staff will make sure their water stays unfrozen and check for hypothermia.
Doesn't mean I'm not going to get nervous, not going to wake up in the middle of the night worrying about them, but...
Horses have been around for millions of years, and Blowen believes these thoroughbreds can predict bad weather hours ahead of time.
I'm not sure they know before we did. I'm sure Chris Bailey thinks he knew it before anybody else. But but they know it enough to seek shelter, to let us know if there's a problem.
That was Jeremy Toms reporting. Blowen says he's also concerned the frozen ground could cause some horses to slip and hurt themselves. Well, Governor Andy Beshear announced the 44th death related to the flooding in eastern Kentucky back in July. The death is 97-year-old May Ambergy. She died in October. Now, you may remember this picture of her sitting in a flooded room in Letcher County. It went viral after the flooding. The governor says her death is related to the flooding. One person is still missing in Breathitt County.
6:12 here on this Friday. First Alert Weather Day coverage continues as we see the snow moving out. but the cold is here. Let's take a look at satellite radar. You can see it. It literally went from rain to snow very quickly, and now the cold has been left over. There is some snow on the ground in some locations, though, and I don't think we'll see a whole lot of melt today because temperatures are not going to get very warm. There is Whitesburg. It's back online this morning. Snow-covered roads down that way as well, and it's hard for crews to treat these roads because they're chemicals for the most part. If you just use salt, it stops working past 20 degrees. We're well past 20 degrees in the negative, below zero there in some locations out there toward Irvin and Somerset this morning. Single digits everywhere but Logan, and getting closer to zero or at zero across a bigger chunk of the region. Wind chills still up to 20 to 25 to 27 below zero in the western counties, and we're basically below zero everywhere west of I-75 this morning across the other parts of our region. 3 by 1 o'clock. No, that's not 33. That is 3 by 1 o'clock this afternoon for a balmy high, maybe later today, of 6. Dakota?
Goodness, Brandon, it feels like summertime over there in the Tri-Cities. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. The time is 6:13 when we come back here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, the nation faces brutal temperatures. Travel is severely impacted for people who plan to travel this holiday weekend.
The Appalachian Wireless Holiday Sale is going on now. Appalachian Wireless has a holiday sale that will make everyone's holiday merry and bright. From now till the end of the year, visit us in store or reserve online for an unbelievable sale on all the hottest devices. Deals like the iPhone 14 for just $99.99 or the iPhone 12 for just 1 cent. We know what you want for the holidays because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
From severe weather to snow, foggy mornings to sunny afternoons, there are a lot of different kinds of weather here in the mountains. Now you can learn how the WYMT meteorologists know what's going on. Sign up for the WYMT weather class online at WYMT.com. A member of the weather team will visit your classroom to talk about what they know best. Sponsored by Kentucky Power.
Sandy Heating and Cooling has been serving the people of Eastern Kentucky for over 43 years.
Call Big Sandy Heating and Cooling now for a free estimate on a new system. Our licensed and certified technicians can have your job installed in no time.
When a technician is dispatched to your home, you can track us on your mobile device.
Call Big Sandy Heating and Cooling for all your service and maintenance needs. We've always got your service history at our fingertips.
We are your local Lennox Premier dealer. Call Big Sandy Heating and Cooling.
I was diagnosed with stage 4 lung breast cancer in 2015. It's hard to describe how you feel when you're told something like that. I did end up going to Vanderbilt. I went through treatment there around 3 years and nothing was working. Dr. Noyes at Vanderbilt, he said, I can also fix for you to be at home and take them there at Hazard. I'd never met Dr. Bailey before, and he's just a wonderful doctor. He's very easygoing and listens to you, so we just developed a rapport right off.
We devised a plan to give a treatment that covered multiple different kinds of cancers. And once it started to work, we're all really excited. And then when it didn't show up at all in scans, it was really exciting because we were really expecting hopefully to keep it stable, not for it to move very fast. The results we got were really more than we could have hoped for. It's a success all around.
I think she truly is a miracle. In any illness, no matter what it is, I do think that's important. I feel like the people taking care of you really cares how you're doing. I'm just very, very thankful to be here.
When you've been seriously injured, what can you expect? No paycheck, and the bills keep coming in. So you'll need money fast, and that's what we do. Check our verdicts at GaryCJohnson.com or JudoLaw.com.
Shop Macy's Black Friday specials now while supplies last. Like up to 65% off coats and jackets, up to 50% off boots and shoes, and 50% off makeup, skincare, and fragrances. And get it faster with curbside pickup at Macy's.
Here, have a Triscuit.
Bring on the zest with fire-roasted tomato and olive oil. Bring it with Triscuit.
Get in the circle.
A new network invites you into the circle, where you'll get all that country has to offer.
Contact your local cable company to get in the circle.
Join me in the circle.
Travel forecast sponsored by Big Sandy Heating and Cooling, the
king of comfort.
.17 here on this cold Friday morning. We've made it to the end of the week. It's Christmas weekend, and of course, it is going to be a little bit snow-filled for Christmas there. Let's take a look at our radar. It's kind of in stuck mode this morning, but that's basically where the snow is still at this morning across the eastern parts of our region. It is moving out. A few flurries still could be left over that are just too light to show up on radar this morning. Look at these temperatures. This is a busy map, so to speak, but I want to show you the contrast between us and the western parts of our state and the surrounding states. So in Louisville, it's 4 below with a 26-degree below zero wind chill. Campbellsville out into parts of south central Kentucky, 4 below with a 21-degree wind chill. Columbia, which is just outside of our area, and Russell Springs, both at 4 below. Actual air temperature with 20-plus degree below zero wind chills. And then you go back out, you see a lot of minus signs, negatives in front of those numbers out to the west. And we're starting to see a few of those here. Somerset below zero this morning. Moorhead's at 0. Hazard at 5. But when you factor in that wind chill, feels like 16 below. It's 1 degree at the London Corbett Airport this morning. Some snow on the ground there. I think we'll stay mainly cloudy today, maybe a few peaks of sunshine if we can get those clouds cleared out. We're at 5 here in Hazard, and it looks like the snow either is blowing or it might have started just a little bit again. I bet it's blowing out there this morning. Some ice underneath that, so travel not recommended. And Whitesburg right back out again. I don't know what it is. When we go to that camera on this one, it just always acts like it doesn't want to work. Anyway, travel forecast, slick conditions out there. Travel not recommended before lunchtime today. Give those crews time to work. If you absolutely have to travel, slow, easy, watch out for icy spots, because this transition from rain very quickly as the temperatures dropped, that means there is ice underneath that snow out there. It was a flash freeze like we've been talking about for days. We suspected that was going to be the case. This afternoon, still a yellow light on, because even though the road crews will get it fairly cleared up, you just have to be careful, because again, it's going to be one of those situations that it's going to be cold all day long. Massive Arctic blast continues to move through. Snow chances early this morning. And then the cold continues all the way through Christmas weekend. Dangerous wind chills, dangerous cold, basically a flash freeze, which happened. If you want to get that app we've been promoting all morning, right there's the QR code for that. So all you have to do is open your camera on your phone, point at that QR code, and a little box will pop up in the middle of the screen. You can click on to get that. It's an easy and free way. A new update this morning. I pushed it out on social media a little bit earlier, but again, we are seeing the winter weather advisory that was supposed to expire at 9 extended till this afternoon. It's either 1 or 4 o'clock, depending on where you are, because again, these roads are going to continue to be slick for a little while. So just be careful. If you don't have to be out, try to stay at home as much as you can today. And I know a lot of folks are going to be traveling for Christmas, but again, just give it some time. I think by tomorrow and Sunday for sure, as we start to get a little bit more sun in the mix and things start to warm up a little bit, I think we'll be in decent shape. So today, single digits basically all day. Cloud cover will be around all day. By lunchtime into the afternoon hours, some spots may stay below zero for air temperatures all day long. So we're not going to move a whole lot today. Cautiously optimistic we can get to 5 or 6, maybe not. We'll see how that plays out. By 7 o'clock in the morning, still low single digits or some below zero temperatures out there. It's going to be another cold morning across the region. Now here is the thing. Those wind chills are going to keep going the whole time, okay? The wind chill warning will expire this afternoon and be replaced with a wind chill advisory for most of the region, which means the wind chill advisory criteria is 10 below to 24 below. So you got to get 25 or above there for the wind chill warning, but the advisory goes from 10 below till all the way up to 24. So we go all the way through the afternoon hours tomorrow, maybe some teens, and then as we head into Sunday, back into the single digits by Sunday morning, then the sun comes out, pushes us into the low to mid 20s there for daytime highs. I still think we'll be on one of our coldest Christmas days on record. If we get to 24, which is the forecast, we would slide in for the tie spot for 5th place at both the London Corbett Airport and the National Weather Service office at Jackson. So again, feels like temperatures will continue to stay between 20 and 25 degrees below zero through most of the day today. The wind is going to be cranking 30, 35, 40 miles per hour off and on throughout the day and night. That keeps those wind chills low all the way into tomorrow morning. And then into tomorrow afternoon, they'll lighten up a little bit as the wind starts to lighten up, but they're still going to be below zero, sub sub-zero, we like to call that around here. But again, it's just going to be one of those situations that you're really going to need to stay inside as much as possible. And if you're going outside, layers are your friend. Cover all of your exposed skin. Hopefully you brought your pets inside. If you're using space heaters to help compensate for maybe not well-insulated homes, make sure you plug those into walls and not extension cords or power strips, because they pull a lot of power and they could overload those. And of course, check with your city officials about water usage if you need to leave it at a trickle or not. 7-day forecast for the weekend's always in view. Cold weekend. Wherever you were at midnight was your daytime high for today. We crashed after that. And then hopefully by the beginning of next week, maybe some more snow chances on Monday. But the temperature trend goes the right way, and we might finally get above freezing on Tuesday. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Well, communities across the country are facing bitter temperatures. Heavy snow and strong winds have created chaos in the Midwest, with nor'east bracing for today's impact already. Thousands of flights have been canceled or delayed, disrupting travel plans just 2 days before Christmas. Jared Hill has more from New York.
Pre-holiday headaches as a historic winter storm bears down on much of the country. Frigid temperatures in Texas led to power outages, leaving some residents in the dark on the coldest day of the season so far.
I'm really glad that I have a fireplace, because otherwise I'd be freezing right now.
Heavy snow and wind squalls blasted through the Midwest, causing many shoppers in Indiana to make a mad dash to the stores for last-minute groceries and propane tanks to keep warm.
It's always the first snow that freaks people out.
The icy conditions have wreaked havoc on Christmas travel plans for the millions who are hitting the roads.
Like even in the areas that have been plowed really well, if you get above 40 miles an hour, you start sliding around.
And also those hitting the skies, with more than 12,000 flights canceled or delayed Thursday, according to FlightAware. Chicago's O'Hare Airport was one of the hardest hit.
I have this insane itinerary now. It's been a little nerve-wracking.
AAA estimates that as many as 7 million Americans will crowd into the nation's airports this holiday season, but they can expect flight disruptions to continue as the storm moves eastward. Even after the storm passes, the severe cold freezing throughout much of the country could slow down the airline's recovery plans for days. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
FlightAware reports total flight cancellations within, into, or out of the United States today have already surpassed the total for all of yesterday. They currently stand around 2,700. As for that quick freeze, temperatures have been plummeting as much as 50 degrees in some areas. Researchers say they're developing a universal flu vaccine. It comes as this year's flu season hit earlier and harder than usual. A universal vaccine is designed to protect against all strains of the flu virus. Current vaccines protect against 4 strains, and the composition changes each year based on predictions about which strains are most likely to make more people sick. But there are 20 known influenza A and B strains, and researchers say they've successfully immunized certain animals against all of them. Researchers say the vaccine needs further testing, but they hope to have it to human standards next year. We're just ahead here on Mountain News this morning. A scuba diver, Santa, is spotted off of the coast of Florida spreading holiday cheer while enjoying some relaxation before his big day.
It's that time of year when the world falls in love with new cars, used cars, and the best deals. The Thornhill Motor Mile Most Wonderful Sale of the Year is here. The horns will be honking, the trades will be topping, all in good cheer. Get in on all the action now at thornhillautomotive.com.
In 2019, my dad was diagnosed with colorectal cancer, and I was afraid of losing him. We know other people who were treated at Pikeville Medical Center, and their lives were saved. When Dad was diagnosed, we knew the Lawson Cancer Center was where he needed to be.
We performed a colonoscopy, and the results were positive. Colorectal cancer is aggressive, so we scheduled surgery immediately.
Daddy was referred to Dr. Denali. We couldn't have asked for a more compassionate doctor.
I promised Harold we would do everything we can for him, beginning with an immediate and comprehensive treatment plan. This is our goal for every patient at the Lawson Cancer Center.
It was important to begin radiation and chemotherapy in a timely manner. He responded very well to treatment.
I couldn't imagine not having my father, my kid's papa, in our lives. He's my daddy, and now he is cancer-free.
Billy Johnson, and I've spent my career representing injured people. I've never represented insurance companies, large corporations, or special interests. I've never run for or held public office. Injuries are serious matters. Your attorney should not have distractions or conflicts. My only business is representing injured people. If you've been injured, call me, Billy Johnson. Make it our fight.
Shop Macy's Black Friday specials now while supplies last. Like up to 65% off coats and jackets, up to 50% off boots and shoes, and 50% off makeup, skincare, and fragrances. And get it faster with curbside pickup at Macy's.
Here, have a Triscuit.
Bring on the zest with fire-roasted tomato and olive oil. Bring it with Triscuit.
Investigate TV tackles the top topics. When your health is compromised, we investigate. Corporate greed exposed. The powerful held accountable with in-depth journalism led by award-winning journalist Lee Zurich. Download Investigate TV for your Roku and Amazon Fire devices.
It's that time of year when the world falls in love with new cars, used cars, and the best deals. The Thornhill Motor Mile most wonderful sale of the year is here. The horns will be honking, the trades will be topping, all in good cheer. Get in on all the action now at thornhillautomotive.com.
You're watching WYMT.
Coming up on 629, we were taking a look at the satellite radar loop for the last few hours. The snow on the way out. Maybe the clouds, too. We'll hopefully see some sunshine today, but I don't think we'll see much, if at any. But we'll see again. The clouds probably hang tough with us for most of the day. UVA-wise, it's trying to work there this morning. Let's see if it goes back to full screen. But you can see it's down to 7 over there. Probably a little bit of snow on the ground. It's hard to tell outside of daylight, but we're below 0 in Irvine and Somerset this morning, and 0 or just close to it there. 1 degree. London and Williamsburg, 0 in Moorhead, single digits pretty much everywhere. And you got to go, nope, you can't even go into West Virginia now. Logan's at 9 and Clintwood is at 8. So temperatures continue to drop. Bitter cold today, wind chills 20 to 30 below 0 there out there this afternoon. Tomorrow for Christmas Eve, the frigid temperatures continue. The wind chills get a little bit better, but they'll still be below 0 there by a few degrees. 17, a balmy daytime high as Santa makes his trek into the region tomorrow night. And for Christmas Day, slightly warmer, but 24. With sun and clouds that afternoon. All right, let's take a look at your lottery jackpots real fast. Don't forget tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $510 million. Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $186 million. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, if you've ever had a holiday party with delicious appetizers and desserts and would love to take a few home, but you don't know if it would be appropriate, this might be the answer. Hefty has unveiled the snack scarf. Please, I can't. The household products maker calls this the perfect way to keep you warm and also secretly fill your scarf with your favorite party foods to take home. The company says the key is using the scarf's hidden storage bag pockets to keep those appetizers fresh. The plaid design snack scarf comes in 2 sizes, quart and gallon, and is a limited edition. Hefty says the scarf retails for less than $3 each. And a scuba diving Santa Claus was spotted Thursday in the Florida Keys at National Marine Sanctuary, enjoying some relaxation with an elfish helper before the upcoming holidays. Propelled by an undersea scooter, the Jolly St. Nick delivered a bit of cheer to the marine animals in the sanctuary off Key West. And the event's purpose is to offer underwater holiday photo opportunities and help promote awareness of an annual fundraiser for a local children's charity, Kids in Special Situations. The time is 6:31. When we come back here on Mountain News this morning, an Eastern Kentucky organization continues its yearly tradition of handing out bags of blessings to members of its community.
Mom's in her sweater, dad's in his cap. Kids are excited to buy gifts they can wrap. From name brand stores to local flair. See names that they know and find brands they love there. If you're looking for ways to spread joy this year, visit the shops of Grand River for your Christmas cheer.
Waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I end up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. This was a game changer. It's smaller than other night guards that I tried, which is a good thing because it doesn't make me gag. It could fit on the top or the bottom of the teeth. It's lightweight and super comfortable. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
Go to brooksnightguard.com and use the promo code to activate your special TV offer. That's brooksnightguard.com. Order today and take advantage of this special TV offer. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
Greg Clevenger with Hatfield McCoy Power Sports in Belfry, Kentucky, announcing our annual holiday sales event. Christmas is coming soon. We've got a great selection of Kawasaki models in stock and ready for immediate pickup. Get a new 23 Kawasaki Teryx KRX 1000 plus gifts for kids like the KFX 50 and the KX 65, 85, 90 and the 112 dirt bike, all in stock and ready for immediate pickup. Hurry in to Hatfield McCoy Power Sports. Happy holidays!
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season now on furniture and mattresses, like the Radley Shays Sectional, $19.99, and game table sets starting at $5.99. Plus, get up to 50% off select mattress closeouts, now at Macy's.
When it shines with your love, it's more than a gift.
I get to see what Santa left for me.
Hey, thanks for working through the holidays.
Clara, Dad says you're working over Christmas.
Here you go, Mrs. Person.
Let me pay you.
No, you're not going to pay me.
We are the helping hand.
Holly, happy holidays to you.
Thanks for everything you do, Clara.
We couldn't let you be alone for Christmas.
Christmas tree.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
It's an interesting world we live in, but there is danger. Injuries happen when we least expect it. That's when you need us. Check out our verdicts at GaryCJohnson.com or JudoLaw.com.
We're your watchdog. Download Investigate TV for your Roku and Amazon Fire devices.
We want to thank those who have and continue to help with relief efforts. Together, we will build back better.
Coming up on Mountain News this morning, AAA offers some tips to drivers if they must be on the roads today. And those involved with a heartfelt tradition in Harlan County continue their mission to bring joy to children in our region.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
6:35 on this very cold Friday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. We appreciate you all waking up with us, and hopefully y'all have something warm to drink. I have my Coke Zero, but it's out there. I thought it was right there, but it's not. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at our forecast this morning. Brandon, buddy, can you just make it warm up just a smidge, please?
Yeah, well, no. And listen, I've told you all week that this is coming.
You know what? We can't act shocked. You all did tell us all week.
We have told, Cameron, Evan, and I have told you all week that this was coming.
You did.
So you had plenty of time to get ready for it. It's definitely here this morning, slapping us in the face. All right, let's take a look at the last few hours. The snow, thankfully, has moved out, at least the bulk of it. We're probably still seeing a few flakes out there, and there still could be some blowing snow because winds are still pretty stout across parts of the region. Actual air temperatures, yep, there's minus signs in front of Irvin and Somerset, so they're below zero this morning. Moorhead's at zero. Temperatures continue to fall. 3 degrees here in Hazard, 3 degrees in Manchester, 2 in Jackson, 8. Heat wave going on in Clintwood this morning. That is our warmest spot in the region, if you can believe that. Usually one of our coldest spots, 7 over at Logan. You factor in those wind chills, 15 to 20 to 25 degrees below zero right now. And again, across the country, similar situation. That Arctic air mass came down from Canada and is basically pushing temperatures down across the country. 1 degree in Memphis and 23 in Atlanta, down from 28 a little while ago. All right, day planner for today. Look at those big numbers. I mean, 0 basically at 7, then 1, 2, 3, all the way up to about 6 degrees a little later this afternoon. Some sunshine possible, but I think we stay mainly cloudy today. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, we have a long road ahead of us when dealing with these temperatures, and many of us may be spending Christmas in the dark this year. We now go to Keaton Hall, who's just outside of our front porch, but he's been inside before he goes outside. Keaton, good morning to you.
Yes, I've been inside. It's been very warm, but Brandon put it very well. It is like a slap in the face when you come outside. It is freezing cold. I don't think it's going to be a fun snow day for the kids. I think this is going to be an icy, just frigid day. The KYTC, the KSP, they're asking folks, don't go outside. It was basically so cold last night that the snow and the rain just turned to ice, and that's basically what the roads have on them right now. It's about just a 1/4 inch of ice, and this is what it's like everywhere. All the main roads, they're trying to do what they can. The salt trucks, the snow plows are out there, but I mean, when it's this cold, there's not that much you can do, and so you just got to stay warm, stay home, and just give it some time. Dakota.
All right, Keaton, thank you so much, and thank you for your help this morning. Well, AAA is offering tips if you have to be out on the roads, even though you should just stay home. First, make sure you got an emergency bag with extra clothes, food, and water. It's also a good idea to have a flashlight, blankets, and any extra medications you may need. Make sure your gas tank is full and check your tires to make sure they're properly inflated and have plenty of tread. And once you're on the road, take it slow and give plenty of space between your car and the one in front of you.
You want to be prepared. You want to plan ahead. So check the weather at your starting point, check the weather along your route, and check the weather at your destination.
If you do need help, this is important, call 911 only if it is an emergency. Do not call 911 for road or traffic conditions. You have the news for that. Governor Andy Beshear wanted every county to open a warming center. We have a list of those locations on our website. You can also find closings on our website as well and the WYMT News app. And you can stay weather aware with the WYMT First Alert Weather app. Scan this QR code to download or search for it in your app store. It gives you the latest weather alerts and radar, and it works with cell data if you lose power and Wi-Fi. Kids in Harlan County are getting an early visit from Santa Claus once again this year. Our Chandler Wilcox tells us how the Mountain Santa Run has become a cherished tradition for the people in that area.
It all started with a man named Mike Mountain Santa Howard in 1975. Then he died 4 years ago, and his son took the reins.
We were just kind of scatterbrained, really. We really didn't know what to, really how to handle it, really. But, you know, I promised him before he passed away that I would do it. So we had to do it.
From scatterbrained to scattered presents, donations come from all across the country. Then Mountain Santa and his helpers get to work.
We get toys coming from Mississippi, Louisville, North Carolina, and they all bring them here. And then if they need worked on, we work on them and wrap them up and get them ready to ship out.
While they wrap presents, parents call inquiring about possible gifts.
People's calling, texting, Facebook Messenger, wanting to know when we're coming, where we're going to be at. I mean, it's a big thing.
A big event, putting the spotlight on giving kids Christmas spirit.
Christmas is for kids, and there is a lot of people I know that don't have a lot, especially down here in this area with the coal mines being shut down and all that.
Some are even giving kids the joy they experienced as children on the Santa Run map.
I remember running out just happy as ever to see Santa and receiving gifts and everything else, and then here I am returning the favor.
It is Christmas time all the time here in December. In Harlan County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, the fifth and final Mountain Santa Run this year will be on Christmas Eve. One Pikeville organization continued its annual tradition this year, providing blessing bags and Christmas gifts to the community. The Pikeville Community Kitchen hosted its December giveaway yesterday, working with local first responders to hand out gifts, goodies, and more to families this season. The event provided hundreds of families with food and fun, thanks to area sponsors. As a part of the mission, the organizers say they are proud to support. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Full forecast sponsored by Big Sandy Heating and Cooling, the king of comfort. Contractors rely on Elliott Heating and Cooling for the largest jobs. So when it comes to residential, can there really be any other choice? Elliott Heating and Cooling.
Name you can always count on.
There are still too many bad burgers out there. So Arby's is running that Wagyu Steakhouse burger back. Arby's, we have the meat.
Catch the action with the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, Fridays and Saturdays on WYMT and WYMT.com.
The holidays are right around the corner, and Air Raid Trampoline Park's gift card special is back, now through December 31st. Enjoy family fun for less on the Ninja Course, arcade, dodgeball, wipeout, and so much more. This Christmas, give the gift of the most fun in southeastern Kentucky at Air Raid Trampoline Park, located just off I-75 in London. Visit airraidky.com for details.
The huge year-end sales event at your local Ford store is in its final days, and so is your chance to get a lot more truck for a lot less money. Hurry in today for more savings on 2022 Ford F-150, now with 2.9 for $60 plus $1,000 retail bonus cash. More power, more capability, more toughness. That's why F-150's been a part of the best-selling truck lineup for more than 45 years. To get 2.9 for $60 plus a grand bonus cash on F-150, get to the final days of the year-end sales event at your local Ford store, where there's always more in store.
Shop Macy's Black Friday specials now while supplies last. Like up to 65% off coats and jackets, up to 50% off boots and shoes, and 50% off makeup, skincare, and fragrances. And get it faster with curbside pickup at Macy's.
Here, have a Triscuit.
Bring on the zest with fire-roasted tomato and olive oil. Bring it with Triscuit.
Hi, everybody. Dave Baker here with some big news. Total Pharmacy Care's family is growing. After 40 years, Donnie Starnes is retiring, so now Family Drug will be Total Pharmacy Care. And the staff, Stacy Tucker, Marilyn McCoy, and Tommy Blackburn, will now be located at Total Pharmacy Care in Pikeville. We look forward to filling your prescriptions and bringing you more services like vaccinations and convenient Saturday hours and free delivery. Total Pharmacy Care welcomes Family Drug patients. Total Pharmacy Care. It's not just a name, it's a promise.
Contractors rely on Elliott Heating and Cooling for the largest jobs. So when it comes to residential, can there really be any other choice? Elliott Heating and Cooling.
Name you can always count on.
Friday, Tom Selleck stars in a new Blue Bloods on CBS.
Alrighty, almost 6:45. Welcome back. And, before we actually get into the main weather forecast, I want to share some tips with you all about yourself, driving, your pets, whatnot during this cold weather. And starting with yourself, if you're heading out this morning, if you have to, dress in layers. Don't be like me and just wear one little jacket. Loose fit, warm, lightweight. Cover your exposed skin. Brandon, smart guy, brought a scarf.
I brought all kinds of stuff.
You did. He's always ready to go. Cover your head, face, hands, mouth, etc. Ooh, yeah. And don't forget about that frostbite in little as 30 minutes in these wind chills. I didn't think about that one.
Exactly. Yeah. So you got to protect your four-legged friends, too. Hopefully you brought them inside last night. That was the best option you could do. If they were too big, I hope you made arrangements for them because it's too late at this point. And you could still probably try to get them in, but I'm sure they're cold already. They make jackets for horses and things like that. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you had some heat lamps out there that you could do safely. Maybe some heated water bowls or things so they didn't freeze on them, because I guarantee it's probably frozen this morning if you didn't. Yeah. And of course, something we don't always think about, I'm guilty of this myself, clean off their paws when they come back in from doing their business, because if they get into salt in their area, that could irritate their paws and kind of eat at them. So there you go.
And then speaking of water, some cities, some counties say to leave your water trickling. I know in the city of Hazard, the city manager says don't do that here because you can empty the tanks, and I need water at my house, so let's not do that. But you don't want to have your pipes to freeze, so I think, maybe call wherever you get your water and see what they say. And, some people, they use kerosene and propane and natural gas heaters. You may want to crack a window. Make sure it's well ventilated, and watch out for that carbon monoxide. I know Brandon said earlier, if you're feeling, dizzy, lightheadedness, get
tiredness.
Checked out.
Yeah, exactly. So the final thing is, when you're traveling, if you absolutely have to travel, we understand some people can't take off work. That's okay. But keep gas in your car. More than half a tank is recommended. Dakota and I filled up last night in anticipation for this. Check your battery and check your fluids. Washer fluid is a good one to check. Check your oil. All of that. Make sure it's at the levels it needs to be at. Keep your cell phone charged or have a charger in your car. And then make sure you have a go bag, so to speak, if you get stuck. Snacks, water, blankets, extra clothes, things like that. Just again, it's a good thing to have. I have a go tote in back of my car. All right, let's take a look at our satellite radar and get you kind of caught up to date with what's going on currently. Thankfully, the heaviest bands of snow have moved out, and we're going to continue to track those on the way out today. Pikeville Medical Center going downtown Pikeville, a little bit of snow and ice there on the ground. What happened? That snow transitioned from the rain so fast last night, and those temperatures dropped so much that it basically went from rain to wet snow to immediately dry snow or drier snow, but it caused ice to form underneath that top layer of the fluffy snow. So again, that's what's happening out there this morning. That's what's happening downtown. The ice is frozen to the camera there at Triangle Park, courtesy of the Hazard Perry County Tourism Group there. 3 degrees in downtown Hazard. We just continue to fall. And look at the blowing snow on I-75 near Corbin this morning. 1 below at the London Corbin Airport. They keep dropping. And remember, the coldest part of the day is typically 7 o'clock. I think we'll keep dropping all the way through 8 or 9 this morning. So if you don't have to travel, these roads are still snow covered down there along I-75. And that's one of the major roads in our region. So if they haven't gotten to that yet, can you imagine what some of these secondary roads are like? So travel not recommended for sure. Mesonet temps continue to go down. McKee was the first one to drop below zero there, and single digits for everybody this morning. So it's a cold start to the day. Wind chills are brutal out there this morning. Travel not recommended, especially before lunchtime. Give those crews time to work. Stay off their bumpers if you absolutely have to be out. They're going to be spraying salt. They're going to be trying to add things to make it work, because salt usually doesn't work under 20 degrees. Wind chill alerts. We have a wind chill warning that continues until early this afternoon. Then they're going to replace it, at least at Jackson, with a wind chill advisory. I think that's a smart move, because we're still going to have those wind chills that are well below where they should be right now. So again, air temperatures on the left and the white, wind chills in the blue on the right, air temperatures in the white on the left, wind chills on the right in the blue. There we go. So you're still seeing basically below zero or close to zero all day long. We might get into the upper single digits a little bit later on. Not going to be very optimistic about that, but you see the wind chills continue to consistently stay through the about 10 to 20 degree range below zero there all the way through tomorrow morning. Single digits will start your Christmas Eve, and then we'll see temperatures try to climb into the teens, maybe some clearing skies tomorrow night, and that will still put us in the low or upper single digits by Sunday morning for Christmas morning, and then again skies will clear, maybe some 20s there as we head into tomorrow afternoon. The winds are still going to be cranking, or Sunday afternoon rather. The winds are going to continue to crank today, tonight, and tomorrow. So again, 20, 30, 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts are going to create those wind chills. I think it will calm down to about 30 or 35 at high end there. But again, that continues all the way through tomorrow morning into tomorrow night. So Santa may hit a little bit of turbulence when he makes his trek into the mountains tomorrow night. But again, it's going to start to back off gradually as we head deeper into it. Okay? 7-day forecast, where your weekend is always in view. First alerts continue as we head through Christmas. But after that, potentially some more snow showers on Monday. Still not sold on that, but both models trying to show something, so we'll keep that on our radar, pun intended. And then when we finally may get above freezing as we head into early next week. We'll be right back.
What's the FAFSA?
I have no idea what FAFSA stands for.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of people at school talk about it, but I haven't actually had like a conversation about it.
And when I'm preparing for college, my top priorities are how to pay for it.
They're really focused on getting you to the college level. They're not really focused on getting you through college, so they don't really talk about the financial aid or FAFSA.
The free application for federal student aid is the first step, and it just got easier. Visit knowhowtogoky.org to find out more.
I'm Brian Freeman with the loss of Freeman Childers in Howard. If you've been injured by the negligence of another, you need to know what your injury is worth and what benefits you're entitled to. These questions can be difficult to answer. At Freeman Childers in Howard, we have over 100 years of combined legal knowledge and experience, so we can help you answer these questions. Call us 24 hours a day for a free consultation, so we can help you get the money you deserve. At Freeman Childers in Howard, we deliver.
Attention shoppers this holiday season. Get everything you need to make the holidays merrier.
Everything I need to make the holidays merrier is all right here.
Party trays, gourmet cookies and cakes, store-made candies. These are the visions that dance in my head.
And the picky promise means that all of my holiday guests are treated to the freshest produce.
Nobody does food.
Or the holidays, like Food City.
For every holiday, for everyone. Ritz, a taste of welcome.
When the hands that do the fixing need fixing. When the hands that do the caring need caring. That's a job for O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream and guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keeffe's Lip Repair.
Don't tell me you know how to make a bomb out of a stick of chewing gum.
Why, you got some?
No gear, no plan, no problem. MacGyver.
Don't tell me you know how to make a bomb out of a stick of chewing gum.
Why, you got some?
No gear, no plan, no problem. MacGyver.
The WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen, customized to the categories you choose. The WYMT News app, powered by Appalachian Wireless.
It is a yearly tradition here at WYMT, the reading of a Christmas classic by our staff. We leave you with this year's rendition of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. We wish you a great Friday, stay safe this weekend, and of course, have a very Merry Christmas.
'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
The children were nestled all snug in their beds as visions of sugar plums danced in their heads.
Mom in her kerchief and I in my cap. I settled down for a long winter's nap.
When out on the lawn, there arose such a clatter. I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter.
Away to the window I flew with the flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up a sash.
The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow give off the luster of midday of objects below.
When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer.
With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick.
More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and he called them by name.
On Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Dash away, dash away, dash away all.
As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky.
So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too.
And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof.
As I drew my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound.
He was dressed in all fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished from ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack.
His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath.
He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly.
He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself.
A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk.
And laying a finger aside of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose.
He sprang to his sleigh and to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle.
But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Give good cheer. The Thornhill Motor Mile most wonderful sale of the year is here. Get shopping at thornhillautomotive.com. It's the most we've paid all year. That's top dollars for your trade, plus no payments till spring. Don't miss any of the excitement or the savings on the Thornhill Motor Mile.
The WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen, customized to the categories you choose. The WYMT News app, powered by Appalachian Wireless.